If I could measure just one number to estimate how long you're likely to live, it wouldn't be your weight, it wouldn't be your cholesterol, it wouldn't be your testosterone, muscle mass, or grip strength. It would be your VO2 max. Because cardiorespiratory fitness isn't just about being in shape. In large studies involving over 100,000 adults, low fitness is one of the strongest predictors of all-cause mortality ever recorded. That's stronger than smoking, diabetes, and coronary artery disease. And here's the scary part. Most people don't even know what theirs is. So let's talk about it. Because this is not about being a marathon runner. This is about whether or not your body has reserve. And reserve is what determines if your body bends or breaks when life hits it hard. In 2018, the Cleveland Clinic analyzed 122,007 adults who completed treadmill stress tests. These were just regular people, not athletes. After the test, they were followed for a median of 8.4 years. Altogether, this added up to over 1 million years of combined data. Participants were then grouped into 5 categories: low, below average, above average, high, and elite. And the differences between those categories was not subtle. Compared to the elite group, the lowest fitness group had about a 5-fold higher risk of death, even after adjusting for smoking, diabetes, age, blood pressure, and heart disease. Let that settle for a second. 5 times higher risk of dying just from fitness alone. Now here's where things get brutal. In that same data set, low cardiorespiratory fitness showed a stronger association with mortality than smoking or diabetes. Now that doesn't mean fitness cancels out bad habits, but it does mean being severely unfit is a huge risk all by itself. And there was no ceiling to this. As fitness increased from low to average to high to elite, mortality rates kept dropping. People always ask, what about grip strength? Or what about muscle mass? Well, here's the truth. Grip strength is legitimately powerful. In the massive Pure study of 140,000 people across 17 countries, weak grip strength roughly doubled mortality risk and predicted death better than blood pressure. Muscle mass protects your metabolism, strength, and independence. And BMI, it's mostly useless. It can't tell the difference between a powerlifter and someone carrying excess fat. But when researchers compare all these markers together, VO2 max still wins out on predicting all-cause death. Why? Because grip strength is one muscle group. Muscle mass measures structure, but VO2 max measures the entire machine under stress. Your heart, lungs, blood vessels, mitochondria all firing at once. It's the difference between checking the tires and testing the entire engine on the racetrack, which means the number that most people ignore might be the one that matters the most. Here is what makes this ridiculously powerful. You don't need elite numbers. You just need one level up. Fitness is measured in METs, and large meta-analyses show that for every level up in fitness, your risk of dying from any cause drops by about 13%. That's 13%. Think about that, just from one shift. If you could improve your survival odds over the next few decades by double digits, would you? You don't need to go from couch to Ironman. You just need to go from low to average. In the Copenhagen Male Study, which followed 5,000 men for 46 years, men that improved from low normal to high normal fitness gained about 3 additional years of life. Those that moved even higher gained almost 5 years of life. That's more holidays, that's more birthdays, that's more time with your family. Now here's the uncomfortable truth. Most adults are not average. They're below average. We live in a culture where 10,000 steps feels like a victory lap, where sitting 8 to 10 hours a day is normal, and simply not being overweight is what's considered healthy. But VO2 max doesn't care about how you look in the mirror. You can have visible abs and still have a tiny engine. You can deadlift 500 pounds and still gas out while walking up a hill. And this is exactly why so many healthy-looking people drop dead from heart attacks in their 50s. Capacity doesn't show on Instagram. It shows when life actually tests you. And stress doesn't send a calendar invite. After the age of 30, your VO2 max declines about 5 to 10% per decade if you don't train it. And if you train it, that decline slows dramatically. By the time many people reach their 70s, a sedentary person's maximum oxygen consumption is barely above what daily life demands. Picture it like this. Daily life requires 10 units of capacity. If your maximum is 15, you're running on 2/3 throttle all day long. Now you catch pneumonia and your body suddenly needs 14. You have almost no margin left. But if your maximum capacity is 35, that same 10-unit day uses less than 1/3 of your engine. That's reserve. That's the difference between a 78-year-old that fights the flu at home and the one that ends up in ICU for 3 weeks. Reserve is what keeps older adults independent. Not luck, not genetics, it's capacity. And capacity is highly trainable. VO2 max is one of the most trainable markers in aging, even in your 60s and 70s. Studies show 10 to 25% improvements in just 3 to 4 months of structured training. The heart gets stronger, stroke volume increases, mitochondria multiply, and your blood vessels become more flexible. Decline isn't destiny, sedentary behavior is. So how do you actually build this? The good news is the formula isn't complicated. You don't need an elite athlete training program. You just need the right pieces. Step 1. Start building the base. This is often what's called Zone 2 cardio. It involves things like brisk walking, cycling, rowing, or light jogging. Anywhere where you could still hold a conversation, but you definitely wouldn't be able to sing. You should feel like you're working, but not suffering. This is the type of training that builds the foundation of your aerobic system. Your mitochondria increases, your body becomes better at using oxygen, and your heart pumps more efficiently. Most guidelines recommend about 150 to 300 minutes per week of this type of work, and while that sounds like a lot, it's really only 30 to 45 minutes a day. And that alone will move most people out of the bottom tier of fitness. Step 2, raise the ceiling. Once the base is there, you need to push the engine. This is where the high intensity work comes in. 1 or 2 sessions a week is enough of this. Short bursts that are near your maximum effort. This involves things like hill sprints, hard cycling intervals, or running repeats. Anything where you're breathing hard enough that talking then becomes difficult. This type of training forces your heart to pump faster and harder. Your stroke volume increases and your cardiovascular system learns to deliver oxygen at a much higher rate. And that is what increases your VO2 max. And step 3, progressive overload. Your heart adapts like a muscle, and if you keep doing the same easy exercise over and over again, it has no reason to improve. But if you gradually increase the challenge, a little faster, a little longer, a little harder, your system adapts and your engine grows. Now here's something people get wrong all the time though. Lifting weights is incredible for longevity. Strength training protects your bones, preserves muscles as you age, and improves your metabolism. But lifting alone does not build a large cardiovascular engine. You can be strong and still gas out when you walk up a hill. Muscle protects structure, cardiorespiratory fitness protects function, and longevity requires both. Grip strength and muscle mass are fantastic teammates, but they require the engine. Because without the engine, the rest of the machine doesn't make it very far. Here's the hard truth most people don't want to hear. Most people spend more time researching supplements, tracking macros, or chasing the perfect bench press than they spend building the one system that determines if they live the next decade. Longevity is not a pill, it's capacity. Old age does not kill people. Loss of capacity does. Build your engine, build your reserve. Train the one number that actually predicts how long and how well you get to live. And if you want to live longer and feel better doing it, follow for more.